It's an amazing time meeting together again. Uh, Let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, so today we are looking at design thinking. Somebody is saying I can't hear anything. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, say hi. So if you can't hear me, you might need to go out and come in again. Okay? Go out and come in again. Go out and come in again. Okay? Go out and come in again. So go out and come in again, okay? So I am sharing my screen now. Okay. So by now you should be able to see my screen. Then I want to say, please kindly put off your camera. Kindly put off your camera, okay? So that we can get the best from this. So what we are looking at is design thinking. Design thinking. If you have ever seen any innovation in the world, for example, the one by IBM, this ATM machine or any major product in the world, they actually follow in the process of the design thinking. Internet of Things, all major products you have ever seen, they usually follow this design thinking. So, and the question is this, why is design thinking so important today? Why should you learn it? Why should I learn it? Just like the way we are together now. The day one of this program will let you understand that we are in the VUCA environment. VUCA means volatility, uncertainty, uh, complexity, and ambiguity. So that is the kind of environment we are. So most of the time, the only people that win are people that are able to think out of the box. They are people that are able to do the unthinkable. They go beyond their comfort zone. Like majority of you now, look at it. We have close to like probably 300 or 400 people that register from day one till now. Look at the people that join us today. So at the end of the day, by the time we are done with this program, we screen everybody out and we only probably give, the way I'm looking at it, at the end of the day, it may be probably 70 or 20 of you will be given certificate and we're going to be moving you to another place and see how we can keep working together. Those who couldn't meet the demand of this program might be dropped, or let me not say might. They are actually going to be dropped. Please, if you are how do I put it? If you know that you are a presenter, I've taken you as presenter, kindly be admitting people in. So we said the markets are uncertain. What works today might not really work tomorrow. So So that is it. Then we have the customers are demanding. And as a matter of fact, the customer, it keeps changing. Customer keeps changing. They keep changing. Hope you are aware of that. And I'll give you an example. Look at the issue of Nokia. Nokia and Apple. Probably Apple products. It could be iPhone, any other thing. Can you see the metamorphosis? Some face out, one faced out, the other one was really winning in the market world. So customers are demanding, their tastes keep changing, their problem keep changing or keep evolving. Look at the world we are today now. It is called the artificial intelligence. So it's a different ball game. I do not know the business you are doing or the sector you want to go to. One thing you are going to realize is this: ideas fail without human focus. And that is a critical matter. So there could be more. And one thing that should come to our mind which is very critical, is why do businesses fail? Why do businesses fail? We are still coming to that because we are going to talk about it, okay? But let me just go to this place. What is design thinking? So let's define it. Design thinking is a human-centered structure problem solving rather. So design thinking is a non-linear, iterative process that teams use to understand users, challenge assumptions, redefine problems, and create innovative solutions to prototype and test. It is the most useful to tackle problems that are ill-defined or unknown, something that have never been existence before. A new problem that just emerged, a new challenges that just emerged. In the olden days, when it comes to banking, can you see the way they were doing banking then? They will use something like a Senate. It was so, those times. Can you see the first computer that came out? Then suddenly people begin to come up with innovative product that is that came out of the design thinking iterative processes. Now, another thing you need to understand here is that what exactly design thinking is not. Number one, design thinking is not guesswork. It's not brainstorming. It's not copying competitors like some people do. Most of the product from design thinking is very novel. So it is beyond when you are telling somebody, please be innovative or please be creative. Yeah, there could be process to design thinking, but the design thinking is so structured. It's a process. We call it non-linear iterative process. And by the time you follow that process, wow, your product is going to be very unique, just like the way we have some new products that are very unique. So let's look at this. Why do employers and investors value design thinkers? Why should you understand it? I will tell you my story anyway. I can remember that time, my first job that I got in Lagos. Within 3 months, the man is ready to promote me. Within 3 months. Within 3 months. As a matter of fact, people were just doing but the man didn't send them. And I will tell you why he promoted me so quickly. Number one, because of my problem solving capability, because of my ability to demonstrate empathy when it comes to the way I work with people and solve problems. Then when it comes to my adaptability, so this man, in fact, my leadership, my methodology of doing things, my perspective, the man, when everybody is going on, the man will tell me to wait. I will be in his office, we begin to talk. I didn't even know that while we talk, he was getting idea for how to move the business forward. So before I knew what is happening, I became a lead or team lead handling a particular section of the business. So people wanted to, they were grumbling, but later they discovered that wow, this guy has stuff. At the end of the day, they begin to call me prof, they begin to call me different kind of name anyway. So listen, so the same thing is for you. Whether you are working with employers, they need somebody who solve problem. They need somebody who brings solutions. They need somebody who generates a novel value, something that have never been done. So you join an organization, can they open a department or set up a new department because of you? Then why should investor actually invest in you, in what you do? Why should they invest in you? So that is the idea around design thinkers or design thinking. Let me put it that way. Okay. I, so if you follow the approach or this process of design thinking in the way you approach organizational problem or in the way you approach your own problem and provide solutions, oh my God, you'll be working at the top of your game. So there's a design thinking mindset. So let's set the ball rolling now. There's this design thinking mindset. And what are they? Number one, curiosity. You've got to be very curious. Sorry, I need to shut down my WhatsApp. It's making a lot of noise. Okay. Oh my God. So, like I was saying, you've got to be very curious. And listen, curiosity is the beginning of novelty. When you're curious about something. Then the second one is learning, because learning keeps bringing new innovations. People through learning, they solve problems. Through learning, they create products. Through learning, they create values that solve complex organizational problems. If there is anything I want all of you listening to me to become in your next 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you join your organization, is to apply this principle of design thinking and be at the top of your game. Curiosity, learning, collaboration. So everyone with a design thinking mindset, they learn how to collaborate. And that is why most of the time I'm looking at you guys, and I've told some of you, don't bother yourself. When you call anybody to join you in a group work, just know that you are currently sharpening your collaborative skills, and it's going to pay off in the future. I know that some of you in the next 1 year, you will go so far. In fact, somebody like me, I will be so bold to say that person, I am recommending the person. Because number one, you have passed through this training, you have passed through this program, and I know exactly whom you are and what you can do. And I know that by the grace of God, I am going to be in Ibadan tomorrow. And I'm going to be having some meetings with some of you. I don't know if you are still in Ibadan, you can meet me in University of Ibadan. I will tell some of you to meet me there. I will drop the address where you want to meet me. You can come around and we're going to sit down for that 5 or 10 or 15 minutes and we look at what we really want to do next week, Saturday. By the grace of God, we have already predetermined who is going to be in that event with us next week, Saturday. Not everybody. People that are very committed to the program, people that are doing what we ask them to do, they join us in that program. Collaboration. And the last one is experimentation. These people, they love testing. They love trial. It's called trial method. In fact, these people think about so many ideas and they find a way to implement it. It doesn't mean you're not going to fail. Yes, you're going to fail, but you don't stop testing. You do not stop rolling out new ideas. And that is what I've done over the years. And that is the reason why I could be where I am today. So there are 5 stages of design thinking processes. 5 stage. There are 5 stage. So the first one is empathize. Number 2 is define. Number 3 is ideate. Number 4 is prototype. And the last one is testing or test. So we look at this one by one. Like I told you, we might not be able to go deeper because I could remember when I was introduced to design thinking, I was trained by MTN then. That was about probably 12 years ago. Yeah, that's about 12 years ago. I was trained by IBM on design thinking. So it's a big thing. So I might not go into details about persona or all of those things because the goal of this design thinking is to enable you to see how organizations or how IBM and other people using design thinking to solve problems. Okay, so I may not go into all the terminologies. As a matter of fact, probably after now, I am going to drop a video or a link where you are going to learn design thinking and earn certificate. Okay, I think that one will be fine, right? But the goal of this class is for us to be able to use this design thinking process immediately so that you begin to create solutions to any problem you have ever imagined that you are facing right now, or Probably you enter any organization within the first month you join them, you are applying this thing and you are getting result. Okay. This is just the whole of the design thinking, which we are still going to be talking about. This is it. Empathize to define, that is, empathize to help define the problem. Who is your customer? Don't worry, we are still going to explain all of this. Then from define to testing, your test should reveal inside that they refine the problem. We have the ideas, which learn whereby you begin to learn from prototype to spark new ideas, or probably you learn about user through testing. Test creates new ideas for the project. Don't worry, we are going to look at each of them currently right now. I asked a question the other time. I said, why do businesses fail? Before we go deeper into this, most businesses fail because number one, they solve the wrong problem because they did not apply design thinking. Number two, they assumed users' needs. They don't even understand what the need of the people is. Just like the way that time Nokia was solving the wrong problem at a particular time in their life. Should I explain what happened to Nokia to you? The market has moved before Nokia changed. So they couldn't meet up to change. Change beat Nokia out of the business. There was another one because they scaled too early. Some of your business, as I'm talking to you now, supposed to be in ideation. I was with a, I was with a CEO in Ibadan last week. So the man was sharing an idea with me. I said, "Wow, this is a fantastic idea." I said, "Let's move to the market." Do you know what he told me? He said, "Fola, no, 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 calm down. It's still in ideation, and we have to ensure that our enemies did not hijack this idea from us." I said, "Wow." So what they are doing currently now, the idea as they have made a prototype and they are currently testing using a small number of people. Okay. And the man said we must not let our enemy knows. And as a matter of fact, they have to sign papers with everybody on that project so that every of their idea did not go out. Confidentiality, legal or documentations. So everybody, if they see that product anywhere, they already know it's from them. So let's quickly look at stage one. Empathize. Empathy is deeply understanding users. So there's what we call the persona, which has to do with the user. So and this area of user has to do with their pain, their behavior, and their constraint. So before you make a product or you create a solution, you must ask this question: who is our client? Who is the user? Or you come up with a persona. This persona is trying to make you to understand who the user is. What is the pain? So you're going to be documenting all of this. You will document it. So let's quickly use an example of a core member. Okay, let's use you as an example. Let's assume that you want to start a food business, but you are struggling with capital, location, low daily sales. So the question is that what is your real pain? What do you think is happening to this person? What is the problem of this person? This person needs capital. This one needs location. And there is an issue with daily sales because it is very, very low. So for this person, you have to come with a solution that can solve this person's problems. So you have to empathize with the customer. And the best way for you to do that is for you to understand of the user, understand their pain, understand their behavior, understand their constraint. Any problem you want to solve, any solution you want to give that is outside their pain, outside their behavior, outside their constraint is no longer a solution. They're not going to buy it. Facebook is big today because you understand these three areas. Connect people together, do business, let them do business with one another. Just give them a platform for them to interact, connect each other together. because some people are in isolation, some people, they just have issues. Then anything that want to compete and stop that, Mark begin to buy them up. But this is just the foundation to coming up with solutions to any problem. Understand pain, the pain of the users, understand the behavior, understand the constraint. Then the question is that who are the users? Another word for users is a customer or a client or community or student. So you need to give them name or even comment. Like for me now, this program we are currently doing now, it's because we understand the pain point, the behavior, and the constraint of core members after service year. The program is very simple. Targets core serving core members who might be having issues after their service year. Help them to get clarity, build their resilience, build their emotional intelligence, build their design thinking skills, help them with entrepreneurship so that they can create multiple multiple options for them to scale after service year. My job is done. If you can survive the first 3 months of your service year and you are able to scale, this program is successful. Okay, so let's go to the second one. Then you define them. So let's look at this place now. Capital, location. Capital has not been defined, but we only identified. This person might need probably 3 million. You need to sit down with the person. Why did the person need 3 million? So in the number two, stage two, you need to find a way to turn insight into a clear problem statement. So we have the user, we have their need, then what insight can you come up with? So currently now, let's go back to the core members, like you that is listening to me now. Who is the user? Core member. What are their needs? Let me even ask you. I don't know how many of you that can speak from that place. Comfort, would you like to speak? Doctor, is this Zainab? Would you like to speak? What are your current needs right now? So that we can come up with an insight from it. Hello? Anybody that want to speak to me? Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Can you come again with the question?
Please go ahead. Who is talking? Hello?
Sorry, I didn't. So I didn't get the question. Can you come again with the question?
Okay, please, can you mute yourself and listen to the question again? Now, I said, as a core member, a user, what is your need right now? Or probably in your little time with all core members, okay? What do you consider their need right now? Let's discuss it so that we can come up with insight from what we think is their need. Can you do that? You
Yeah.
understand? Yeah.
Yes, sir. I would
Okay.
say financial
So,
stability.
Okay.
I would say financial stability because looking at the job climate and the pay and the current economy, when
Is
you
it really,
compare,
is it really financial stability? So I will begin to question you. Is that
okay,
is that the real problem right now? Are
um,
you saying that if I transfer money to your account now, your problem is solved?
it depends on the amount because 1 million would
So
probably help
how much will solve your problem? I'm liking this conversation. How much can I transfer to your account that will solve your problem?
that will solve my current needs, right?
Is it the current needs you want to solve? Or I don't know. See, can you see
Okay,
where the
so
problem is? As I'm
the
probing
amount
you now. Okay, I'm listening. I'm
for
listening.
me, I feel like over millions would solve. Like I don't want to mention a particular amount, but I'm thinking
How much exactly? What is this problem? And what is this? How do you describe the problem? Listen, don't forget, I show you something here. I said why business failed. Can you see? They said they solved the wrong problem. They assume
Yes.
users' needs. They scale too early. Can you see that? How do we know we are not solving the raw problems? So I will come back to you, doctor. Let's go to Abraham. Abraham, please, over to you. Hello, Abraham, over to you. You are not talking. If you are talking, you are muted. Hello, Paula. Abraham was supposed to speak and you just over to you, Keno.
All right. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I feel like Dr. Zinab said, um I think a personal issue for me right now is I'm looking
Mm,
for like where to get a steady supply of money. I'm not just looking for someone to transfer a specific amount for me, but like
mhm.
while I'm still sorting out my small business, I'm still trying to grow and develop that. I'm looking for where I can work that will be giving me a steady income and I can also be learning from that organization. So I get like
What,
real
what
life
type of
experience.
what type of what type of work do you want to do? Selling pure water is work. Bar
Okay,
attendant is
no.
work. Sales girl is work. Can you see?
Something,
Can you see what is happening here now? People
yes,
cannot
sir.
people cannot define what the problem is. At the end of the day, they might not be able to define what the solution is. They might not be able to define what the success is because they did not get the problem right. Don't worry. You know me now. Your business case is coming soon. So let me quickly run through this, but I think it's making sense to all of you now because this is a pure design thinking class and we need to start thinking that way, okay? So somebody is saying, Esther is saying, access to entry level or growth oriented roles that provide practical experience and career exposure. Esther, that is very good. So the major area of pains has to do with job opportunities, right? Which is very straightforward. Job opportunities. Okay, that is good. So let's continue so that you will understand what I will say. So here, you begin to who are the user? You identify the user. What are their needs? Their needs are their pain points. Is their behavior? Is their what do we call it again? Their constraints. Then, by the time we begin to ask for that question, just like the way I'm asking you now, insights begin to come. So it is from the insight we are going to define what that problem is. Listen, you must be able to define the problem. So, how do you define the problem? How might we statement is how to do that. We call it the HMW. So, how might we increase daily sales, for example, without increasing rent? How might we attract repeat customers? How might we get job opportunities? How can we do that? So we begin to create as many how. You can begin to even ask more questions. What? When? By the time we begin to ask all these questions until it is exhausted, then we now begin to write. After this conversation with this person, this is the problem and the clear problem statement. So you must define the problem. So the first one is you identify the users, you itemize the problem. That you itemize the problem, it is not the answer under define. Once you have itemized the problem, you now go a bit further and define the problem. So this area is the one that speaks to the persona. Who is the user? What's their problem? What's their pain point? What is the constraint? What are the behavior? So you defined it. So you define. So let's go to ideate. Now that you know who the users are, you know what their problems are, and you have defined it. What is the next thing you do? You generate as many ideas as possible. As a matter of fact, if you like, you can generate 100 ideas. 100 ideas. Now, let's go back to NYSA. Job opportunities. That is the major constraint. People are saying there are no job. You have been applying for job. There are, it's not coming as you think it's going to come. Now we have been able to define, though we don't know why you are not getting that job, but by the time we sit down with you, we begin to know why you don't have the job. Probably like yesterday, uh, a couple that just graduated called me, a lawyer, but she wants to do HR. Unfortunately enough, I contact, there's a group where I dropped the message into the group and I was contacted today. But by the time I wanted to send the CV, I just said, let me even open and see. That CV was very bad. And the funniest thing is I've sent it. There was an opportunity, but the CV was bad. But let me ask you now, such copper is a problem job opportunity or CV writing? How making sense to you now? So I will have to see it, and that's one of the things we want to do during this session. By the time I ask you to work on design thinking business case, please bury yourself into it. As a matter of fact, yeah, it could be in group, but once you are done with group, go and bury yourself into it. Identify what your problems are. Define those problems. Then, in front of those problems, ask yourself, what are the solutions? Just like the way I'm speaking to individual as a core member, is the same thing with organization. You can enter an organization within 1 or 2 or 3 weeks, you begin to identify what their problems are. Then you follow the same process. What does ideate means? You create many problems, you generate as many ideas or solutions as possible. Under this period, there are ideation rules. Number one, no judgment. Begin to build on ideas until it is exhausted. That's what we call think widely. By the time we talk about the widely situation, that is, you pick the most important of all these ideas you have generated. Don't forget, all ideas are very important, but they are most important. Then you stay user focused. That is, now at this point, I have to prioritize the user. And that's what we call the empathize with the user. And there are some techniques you can use. We have the brainstorming techniques. How do we handle brainstorming techniques? It means that if you are doing it alone, you begin to generate ideas. Don't stop until you can no longer generate ideas. That's number one. But if you are doing it with people, probably 2 or 3 people, you begin to pass on. What do you think? What do you think? This person generate idea number one, idea number two. You just begin to pass around until nobody can generate idea again. That is brainstorming. Then brainwriting, you write it. Then mind mapping. Under mind mapping, there are some ideas that looks the same and they might be pointing towards a particular problem. Then you begin to, pack together those ideas that look the same and map it with problem that they can solve. Then we have industrial swap. Okay, but don't let us go into that. Let's look at stage 4, prototype. This is where it's making sense because you want to create the real solution now. Don't forget here, you have been able to generate as many ideas as possible. But are you going to use all idea? No, you are not going to use all idea. So it is from there you do your mind mapping and said, at this, we are going to focus on this idea. We will turn it into tangible solution. So turn into tangible solution means that, okay, this is what we say we want to do. Let's start doing it. So under the prototype means making ideas tangible quickly. This method involves producing an early, inexpensive, and scaled down version of the product in order to reveal any problems with the current design. So depending on the solution you are bringing or the product you want to make, at this level, the time of idea generation, problem statement, clarification, who are the users in terms of persona, all those one is gone. But this time around, we are about to go into the real business. So you are a copper. You have realized that the problem you have right now is CV writing. So you have identified the solution. The solution is probably to go for CV writing class or to go to YouTube and learn more about CV writing so that you can write a new one, standard one, or you want to go to Canva and learn. So now you are creating the real solution, the real product, so that we solve the correct solution. So, but in the organization is different. People will have to sit together, pick up the solution. They can do some kind of sketches. Probably you are doing, you are coming up with software, or you are coming up with app, or you are coming up with any product, like in banking, we have the product team that do a lot of product, whether it's automation, whether it's robotics, no matter what you want to do. So you can begin to do a sketches. You can do, it could be a landing page. It could be your CV. You develop it on Canva. It could be anything. But this time around, it is not the period. You begin to create solutions again. No, you're not doing that. But it is the period you begin to implement the solution you have come up with, and you develop a prototype. It's just like somebody that wants to make a drug. Okay, you can't begin to produce. Probably you want to produce 1 million drugs. Are you going to produce 1 million drugs at the same time? No. You first make a prototype of the drugs, then you go for testing, which is probably that's the next thing we are going. So you just create a little, probably 100 drugs, then you move to testing. If you want to create a phone, you don't create 1,000 phones, you can create 10 phones, prototype of the solution you actually want to create. Is that okay? Is that okay? So let's go to the last one. Now we have created a product, we have a design, we have a product we want to run with. Now we are bringing it to the market, but we are not going to give it to all market. Just like in the IT environment, there's what we call the user testing, which is UAT. I get it now. So people want to test the product you have created. So at this point, one thing you need to test is, does the user understand this product? So automatically you are going to produce a document that the user can read so that they can understand the product. So another one is that, do they use it? Now that they have the product, they know how to use, are they using it, or will they pay for it? And that is what most organizations do before they roll out all their products or their services out. So they do like experimentation, like a testing with a particular people. So, and the same thing for you as a core member. Now that you have selected a solution, you have already have your CV, which is the final CV based on the solution you have picked. Then you have to test, will this CV suffer rejection or will it skate through to interview? Then once they call you for an interview and you get a job, wow, this CV is actually working. Like me now, except if I don't want to submit that CV. Once I submit my CV usually leads to interview. So personally, I'm always very, very careful with submitting CV so that I don't have multiple interview on in fact, I hardly submit my CV. People reach out to me because I have tested some area of product that is very unique, which is my brand. My brand is always out there and it works for me. Okay. So what do? You test, you learn from it, you improve it, you retest. Don't forget, these are like experimentation stage. So I said, great solutions are not built once. They evolve. Okay. They evolve. So let's move to the next one. There are some common design thinking mistakes you must overcome. Number one is skipping empathy. At the empathy level, that is the real area you understand the customer. And that's what happened to Nokia, to the extent that Apple or iPhone actually took the market from them. Okay? They were not, they don't understand the persona of the users. and it's a critical thing. And I will give you this. You must, that's what I told you the last time we met. You must, as a matter of urgency, identify the sector you want to go. Where do I want to play? All of us will not play in the same area. Somebody like me now, I can't play in multiple areas. You want to go into banking, you want to go into agric, exportation and importation, you want to go into fashion. You must understand where you want to go. You want to play, and that is empathy. That is empathy. Or the persona. What is the persona of these users? These are the things you must understand. What is their behavior? What is their pain? What are their constraints? What solution can we give to them? Now that we have entered prototype and testing, do they still want the product? Okay. Is the solution I'm providing working? Is it not working? Look at the time we have started this program. I did pre-program assessment. Today, I started mid-program assessment so that we know what I need to improve. And the reason why it's like that is because I'm using design thinking approach. I keep testing. I keep learning from it. I keep coming up what can work next. Then the next one is do not ignore feedback because most people they ignore feedback. So during testing, a lot of feedback will begin to come in. I did a project called Prince 2 methodology. Okay, that is project in a controlled environment. So under Prince 2, there is a level, in the project, there is a level whereby it has to do with the users. We have the users, we have the sponsors, we have the project team. Okay. And all the users, you must know them very well because they are the one that will test the requirement, whether it has been met or not. They're the one that will test the product, they're the one that will test the services, whether it has been met or not. Where the users has rejected a particular product or a requirement, what do? You go and do something about it. However, according to the AGI principle, it said that do not wait until you finish a product before you go and get feedback. And that is why prototype and testing is very, very important. And at that level, you keep learning. They keep giving you feedback and you keep improving. Just like the way it works for organization, it also work for individual. If you enter an interview and at the end of the day you receive a rejection email, you need to go and sit down at home and ask yourself, why did I receive rejection email? So begin to look at your CV, begin to look at the way you communicate. Am I not communicating my skills enough, my value enough? Then is it, you begin to ask a lot of questions. And if possible, write to that recruiters and ask them, please, I will need a feedback on why I received a rejection. Personally, growing up, I've done that multiple times. Now, like I said, we are now going to do a group exercise, and the goal is very simple. We are going to identify one problem and use the design thinking. Are we ready for that? So I'm going to put this one down. Okay, don't let me put it down, but just going to come to us now, and we are going to answer this question together. Are we ready now? So what I'm going to do now is to give everybody access so that we can talk. So what is the problem? We can still go back to the problem we identified initially, and we can come up with a new problem, but we just want to like get get every one of us thinking, okay? So what should we work on? Somebody should make a suggestion of what we need to work on. What problem have you identified that we need to work on? It could be Nigerian problem, it could be, anybody problem, but there's something that we just have to like work together now and work done. So just suggestion is allowed, and we can come up with anything. And I can actually, tell you what we need to work done. But you guys are very, very wonderful people. So I'm waiting. I'm seriously waiting. Hello, who's going to start? The floor is yours. You can raise up your hand and you can actually open your mic and start talking. Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. What problem have we identified in Nigeria now that requires solutions? and what solutions are we giving? Is this problem coming from oil and gas, from banking? What of this tax issue? What of any policy in Nigeria we have identified? So please go ahead. Who is the first person talking now?
Agriculture, sir.
Okay, please go ahead.
So, I discovered the problem recently and I've been trying to solve that
Okay,
about livestock.
you might need to speak louder.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we are hearing you, but you might need to speak louder.
Talking about beef, chicken, poultry, and pig.
Do you
So
say
I discovered.
importing?
I'm talking about agriculture, sir, agricultural section.
Industrial section,
Agriculture.
agriculture. Okay, please go ahead.
Talking about livestock this time. Fish, poultry, and pig. So I
You know
started
what? Your environment is making noise. I don't know who is beside you. They are pounding so many things. I don't know. Your environment is seriously making noise. You can use the comment section and we will pick it up from there. We pick it up from there. So, but people have already dropped one or two things in the chat. So somebody is saying unstoppable power and electricity supply. Then somebody is saying tax policy. So let's pick unstoppable power and or should we pick unemployment because it has something to do with all of us, right? Or okay, somebody is saying tax policy seconded. So should we pick tax? Okay, let's pick tax. Do you think it's a problem? Kind which one should we pick? You can type. Let's know which one you want us to pick. Anyone can talk. Unemployment, sir. Okay, unemployment. So we have two people saying unemployment, unemployment. Should we, are we okay with that? Abraham, you want to talk? So what is the major structure should be said? Okay, unemployment.
I
Okay, we
want
are
to know.
picking, yeah, we are
Sorry.
picking unemployment. Okay, go ahead, Abraham. Hello, Abraham, can you go ahead? So we are going to be picking unemployment. What
All right.
exactly
Can you hear me,
now?
sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, you were saying something, sir. You said what exactly?
What problem do we have when it comes to unemployment? Is it really a problem, unemployment?
Okay. Um, I believe. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you, yes.
All right, sir. So, I believe unemployment is not really a problem if you look at it from the perspective of
Mm-hmm.
from the perspective of people realizing the advantage of the environment.
Okay,
Yeah, and it's a problem when people do not understand the advantage of the environment, which is the basic
okay,
challenge of many youth today. In the case of
okay. I'm listening. In the case of what? Abraham has gone. So can anybody speak on unemployment? I think Abraham is having issue. Anybody? So if unemployment is a problem, which how do we solve it? So let's go into what level,
Okay.
at what stage are we going now? We need to identify who are those that have this problem, and we need to define that problem. Is it really what is the Islam on in unemployment? What causes unemployment? That's the problem itself.
Sorry, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, Esther, I can hear you.
Yeah, for me, I would say unemployment.
I'm listening, Esther. Hello, Esther. Are you talking? Why am I not hearing people? Hello, Esther. Can anybody hear me? I can't hear anybody. Is
I can hear you,
unemployment,
sir.
can we talk about this unemployment? What causes, unemployment can be so generic. And, when you ask HR, they will begin to struggle with that statement, unemployment. Is it unemployment or underemployment? You know, HR can begin to struggle. Are we saying there are no jobs in Nigeria? Or are we saying the jobs in Nigeria is not, commensurate with the skills of people? They are not well paid. So somebody is saying what causes unemployment is the amount of people looking for job. So don't forget, we want to define what the problem is. We want to identify, because if you don't identify the problem, you won't solve it. Somebody say unemployment, but we discover that it's too.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, I would say unemployment, but what I mean by unemployment is this. Fine, there are plenty job opportunities in Nigeria, but
Okay.
let's also remember the fact that attached to these job opportunities are
Mm-hmm.
required skills. Required skills. For
Okay.
me, I studied an agricultural course,
Mm-hmm.
and I love to intern, though I had once interned with a farm close by my vicinity.
Oh,
And where I'm serving currently, my aim while relocating from where I was earlier posted was that I
Mm.
would be able to learn a lot. I'll grab a
Okay.
nice farm.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes,
Can you hear
yes, I
me?
can hear you. Yes.
So I had already painted the idea of mechanized farm, where we use tractors, where everything is automated. So I was hoping to really, thus far, I've not been learning anything. Somehow it seems like they are relying on me to bring ideas to them. And in my mind, I'm like, but this was why I came here in the first place, to learn. Not you people wanting to learn from me. Like, I just have little. I'm here to learn a lot, but I've not really been learning. Like,
But
my
now they want
hopes
you to
have
be
just
bringing
been
idea.
dashed. Yes. So,
But
so
don't you
back to
think
the
you
unemployed.
can be supplying idea based on what you have just done today? Eh? Okay, let's go to Abraham.
Yeah, I can't.
So, okay,
Okay.
Abraham, we are back to you. Go ahead.
okay.
We can't hear you again. So, while we are waiting for Abraham, the reason why